Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Phil's Five. I hope your Wednesday is treating you well. Going to start out as I typically have the last few weeks at least with the update on Dallas permitting and where we are on that very critical issue. A bit of improvement. The timeline is down from 15 weeks to 11 weeks, so kind of like the Cowboys defense, it can only get better, I suppose, but it's still a long way off from the 2 to 3 weeks that we need to have it even represent some semblance of a competent process and department. Of course, it's a far cry away still from the same day service that we were able to get prior to March, but we're continuing to try to hack away at this thing. There were some really concerning figures that I shared last week in this video and actually ended up making it into a Dallas or a D magazine article that covered this, and that's that these delays or the city's own unforced errors have costed anywhere from 264 to $382 million in tax base growth, and that's based on anywhere from 587 to 849 homes that would have been built from March to November is the latest date that we were able to get data from, but weren't. And we just basically compared how the city did in 2020 compared to 2019 and 2018 over the same time period. And the data was quite stunning that even if they had just repeated the numbers that they had done the 2 years prior, you would have seen 587 homes or about $264 million in tax base growth. And then the higher numbers were reflective of if the city followed the 16% growth that the region has experienced overall. This comes at a time, and these numbers are important because the city is facing a very significant budget shortfall. Key services such as libraries and roads, everything else that you depend on the city for, well, these can't get done unless you grow the tax base, and you've got a lot of projects and a lot of families who want to be in those homes and call Dallas home, and the city's just unable to house them right now, and that's a real shame. We are making some progress in terms of getting some meetings and getting to the bottom of this. A week from Thursday, the 21st, we're going to have a builder meeting. A few of us will get together with Councilman Tanell Atkins, who has taken the lead on this. He's very experienced in these matters. He heads the Economic Development Committee for the City Council, and he's going to help run point on this and hopefully make some progress. We'll be meeting with him and some other senior staff with the city at that time, and this is all leading up to a special called hearing of the aforementioned Economic Development Committee that is scheduled for February the 1st. And that, I think, if you're concerned about this issue, is must-see TV to tune into and see where the city's at, where it's going, and hopefully how we can quickly clear the backlog that's crippling so many businesses in the city itself right now. I'm preparing a memo ahead of that with some of your feedback, so I appreciate those of you that have reached out to me, and I'll get those to council here ASAP. So another thing that we're working on or concerned about is just, you've read, and I know everybody's looking ahead past the pandemic and when we can get the vaccines out and we can just get back to normal, whatever normal is at this point. But the reality is we're still looking at close to, if not record numbers of cases being posted in our area. And I think if nothing else, that's a reminder of just the need to be vigilant, the need to continue the diligence that you've gotten really adept at on the job site. Don't take your eye off the ball right now because we're in places where we've never been before in terms of these case counts. And I know that that's concerning to policymakers, that's concerning to us from a health standpoint, but I think it's also an opportunity for each and every one of you on your job sites to continue to be part of the solution and not part of the problem when it comes to the recovery that we're all looking forward to from this virus and not the challenges that it's posing in our community. So be sure to check out our COVID-19 website that continues to be updated. We're actually getting information now on vaccines there as soon as we know something in terms of how the construction industry as an essential industry can access them. That information is going to be up there. So it's going to continue to evolve, and we also still have the masks and sanitizer for $10 a gallon available if you need that too. Sticking just briefly with the viruses and vaccines program here, we're actually having a program featuring an infectious disease expert named Dr. Jeffrey Kahn from UT Southwestern, and he's going to explain what's ahead. What can you plan your business around? Where are these things going in terms of, again, that aforementioned return to normal that we're all looking forward to? That's going to be next Thursday, January 21st at 10 a.m. and you can register at dallasbuilders.org. I think it's going to be a really, really good program. Hear from a real epidemiologist and not just the ones that like to play one on Facebook. So he'll have a lot of really good questions or good answers to your questions there. And I've got a few for him as well myself. All right. Well, on a much lighter note, we had a town hall yesterday for our 8th Operation Finally Home project. And as most of you should know, Operation Finally Home is an organization that's our charity of choice that builds mortgage-free homes for combat wounded veterans and their families. Really thank all the participants who played a part in that town hall meeting, who have stepped up to donate. We still need a little bit more help for that project so we can hit our budget goal and get that thing ready to go and starting to trend towards the surprise of this very, very deserving veteran who I can't wait for you to meet. The builder captain is Jake Murillo, V Luxury Homes. Jake's very enthusiastic to get started as well, and also really appreciate the city of Irving for donating the lot for this project, just as they did for Major Eric King's home, which was our 7th project. So this is turning into a wonderful veteran-centered neighborhood thanks to their generosity. So go to dallasbuilders.org/community-engagement, and you can find a way to register your donations, monetary service, or otherwise to that project. We really appreciate it. Last but not least, we have our first education program of the year. It's a at project site class, so it's in person or virtual. Choose your experience. Limited, of course, on the in-person, so register quickly at dallasbuilders.org. This one is going to focus on exterior wall weatherization, the integration and compatibility of various building envelope solutions, and how they're key to creating a high-performance, durable wall enclosure that's going to last for a really long time. This is part of the building as a system that our education program has really focused on, and I think this is a good fundamentals class that you could really take a look at. And again, you can do so virtually or in person, dallasbuilders.org. And a big thanks to Structural Home Warranty for sponsoring that. And a big thanks to you to tuning in for another edition of Phil's 5. Hope you have a good rest of the week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.